Good morning and welcome to the porch. Well, we've got some pretty overcast weather out here today, so I hope this video turns out good. But I wanted to invite you guys on a little bit of a deal we got going on today. We're going to be trying out a 1911 pistol. We've been saving money for quite a while now to be able to buy this pistol, and I'm going to show it to you here in a few minutes. But we finally got to where we could buy it, and so we did. And let me show this thing to you guys. That's a T-Sauce carry, and we're going to do a tabletop review on it, and we're going to shoot it. Now, I've already shot this gun quite a bit, but we're going to shoot it a little bit more this morning, so we'll enjoy that as well. The thought process, we wanted to build another 1911, and I've been doing a lot of research on the T-Sauce company, the gun, and all those different things. A lot of reviews out there on the T-Sauce 1911s, and most all of them are pretty good. But we wanted to build one of these guys, and so we bought a standard model. I say it's a standard model. It's a pretty standard model. It has some features we're going to go over here in a few minutes on the tabletop review and talk about those. Two, I want to show you guys. This gun is unloaded, so make sure everybody knows that. And nobody buys these guns from me. I saved my money and bought this gun myself, so I'm not, I'm going to give you an honest review on the gun itself. That way, if you're thinking about buying a 1911, this will at least be an option you can look at. With the review that we're going to do, it should be able to help you make a educated decision on what you'd like to do. Now, there's some very expensive guns out there, and if you can afford one of them, of course, go buy one of them. But if you're the average working guy and you want a 1911, this is a good review to help you make decisions about whether this might be a gun for you. Because there's a few guns out there that are in the budget range, and some of them are pretty good and some of them are not. But this will be a nice review because nobody is paying us to do this review. We're just doing it for the public. Okay, let me put this thing up. Let's go ahead and do the tabletop review, then we'll shoot it and we'll go from there. Okay guys, let's get started. All right guys, let's go ahead and talk about this gun a little bit, do a tabletop review on it. And let's start at the sights, I guess. Now this has got the Novak style sights on it, which I like really well, and so those are going to be very usable. Let's look and see if we can see those three dots. Oh, there we go. Camera don't want to focus, but anyway, it's 3-dot sight, and those work real well on most guns, so I like those. Then we want to talk about serrations, front and rear. Lots of folks like those, so I like them as well. Have serrations on the back, and it's not checkered, it's just got serrations on it, which I think I like that really well. Now there's not anything on the front strap here, and I've done a lot of checkering on my guns over the years. I don't know that I'll checker this gun. Depends on what we decide to do with it ultimately, but it's not a deal breaker for me not to have the checkering. Now let's talk about these grips. Just plastic diamond shaped grips, or checkered I guess is what you'd call them. They're fine, they'll come off there because we're not going to leave those. It doesn't matter whether we build a dress gun or a work gun out of it, we're not going to leave those on there. If God didn't have the funds to buy different grips, that they work fine. Okay, skeletonized hammer, pulls down deep inside there, and that's good. Now we're going to safety check this gun again just for YouTube's sake. Nothing in the chamber. Go ahead and put that in there. Being as we got the hammer back, let's go ahead and talk about that. I don't know whether I just mentioned it, but skeletonized trigger as well. Look at the free travel in that. Not very much. Look at that. Just a little bit. And then boom. Man, got a crisp trigger break on it. Got the ambidextrous safety on it. I like this. Got the tall memory bump on there, and that's huge for me. I like that. I got big old meaty hands, and it helps me get a hold of that a lot easier. Mac-Gar magazines seem to work well. Gun functioning super good. Another thing that I like that GI plunger in there. With I don't care that much for the full length guide rod. I just like the looks of this better. So you got that. Got a lowered and cut back ejection port. Right here where the slide pin is, it's got that recess in it. I like the looks of it. I don't know how much good it does, but I like the looks of it. Also, let's do something else here. This thing has got a little bit of a bevel in the magazine well. Most of the time I put magazine wells larger size on there, but I don't know if I will this one or not. We'll see. Because see, we don't know what we're going to do with it for sure yet. Once we decide that, we'll make those decisions. But again, things started out with 6-pound trigger pull. We got it down to a 3.1 because I didn't like shooting it with a 6-pound trigger pull. So we got that straightened out. Now another thing I want to show you here. See how solid that is? I actually did adjust that safety spring. I just like a good engagement on that, so I adjusted that out, and that works real good. Go ahead and drop this hammer again. All right, guys, that's pretty much the tabletop on it. I can't think of much else. Like I said, it's a 1911 4¼ inch barrel with it's 45 ACP. So there's that. All right, let's shoot this thing. Okay, guys, we're going to attempt to shoot these water bottles first. So let's see what this thing will do. Okay, we're going to shoot steel. All right, clear. All right, guys, I'm just a little bit off this morning. My shooting wasn't as good as I'd like for it to be, and it's not always that impressive anyway, but we got them anyhow, so it gives us a little idea. And you can see its gun function, so that was important right there. Okay, let's go on back up and do a view on this thing. Okay, guys, we decided we'd come in the office and finish the final thoughts on this little T-Sauce pistol. And of course, let's do the safety check first. That's the safety check. Go ahead and drop that hammer. Okay, So what do we think about this gun? Well, you know, I like to think about things on a scale from 1 to 10. Just gives me a metric to think about, weigh things by. And when I give this the 1 to 10, I'm not talking about high end $5,000-$6,000 gun. I'm talking about this gun. I bought this gun for $429. Now I'm not selling guns for anybody. Nobody sponsored me on this. I bought this gun myself, but I bought it for $429. And with all the features that it got, I thought that was a really good buy. In fact, I wonder how they make these guns as good as they do and sell them for that kind of price. Now, I don't think they're going to stay low like that. I think they're going to go up. That's typical. But long and short of it is, I bought this and at a really good price, and I had to save money a little bit to be able to do that. But we did it, and really nice gun. So on a scale 1 to 10, what would I give this thing? I'm going to give it a 9. Now, this gun really probably deserves a 10, but there was at least one thing that could have been better. The trigger pull was 6 pounds, as I said earlier, and I was pulling to the left with it, and that's a 6-pound trigger pull. That's what it'll do. However, and I'm just repeating some things I've already said, this trigger was extremely crisp, but it was 6 pounds. So I shot it for about a week and a half at 6 pounds. And I finally thought, you know, I'm going to back this trigger pull up a little bit, readjust it. So I readjusted the trigger pull to 3.1 pounds, and it made all the difference in the world. Now, I got to tell you guys, the trigger on this thing breaks like glass, and it did at 6 pounds. But now at 3.1, it is a pleasure to shoot. And I've had fun shooting this thing. Let me talk to you a little bit about how I've tested this gun. Now, this gun has functioned perfectly as far as I'm concerned. I tested some really hot hard cast in it. Had a little recoil to it. Functioned well with them. I shot a bunch of just 230 grain, I believe it's PCM ammunition through it. Don't even know how many rounds of that I shot through it. It just functioned flawlessly. I put 2 different kinds of hollow points through it, functioned flawlessly. Then I even put some really light loads in it that were loaded for a special gun, a range gun that I have, and they were too light, and you could tell the slide moved really slow when I used those in there. They functioned in it, okay? So no flaws there, but you could sure tell this thing has a pretty stout recoil spring in it. But anyway, those rounds that I run through there, I probably shouldn't even run them through there, but I just wanted to see if they'd work in it. But they're only running about 650 feet per second with a 185 grain bullet. So they weren't good for this. The gun that I run those in is got a 12-pound recoil spring on it. So, and it runs good with them, but I'm not loading any more like that. That's just too light. I don't want to drop under 750 ever again in my reloads. But anyway, having said that, you know, a guy could have taken this straight out of the box and he could have stuck it in his holster and carried it. I don't recommend you ever do that, but this gun functioned good. But I wouldn't have known that until I tested it. I've tested it and it's done really well. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to show you guys another little deal about it. And I got to go get some targets. So give me just a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, here we are back. I left my targets out there at the shooting range, had to go get them. Now, when we did an accuracy test on this T-sauce, we were shooting at 7 yards and we had a 6-pound trigger pull. And if you can look right there, we were shooting at the red dot here and we were hitting over here. A good lot of that was a 6-pound trigger pull, but that wasn't all of it. I actually had to drift the sights on it a little bit before it was over with. But this is what we were getting with the 6-pound trigger pull. Now let me show you guys what we got after we drifted the sights. And lightened that trigger pull up. So that's what we got after we did that. So it started shooting a whole lot better. I believe his target should have been setting that way right there. But anyway, it shot a whole lot better, and just wanted you guys to see that. The gun itself is far more accurate than the old man is. The old man I shake a little bit nowadays. I didn't used to do that when I was younger, but I still like shooting guns, so I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to give this thing or did I say a 9 out of 10? Anyway, the trigger pull was the only drawback on the gun as far as functionality, accuracy, and all the things that went with it. This is a fine gun. Would I recommend this gun to anybody? If you're a working guy and you want a 1911 to carry that you can depend on, I can't speak for all TSOS 1911s, but I'm going to speak for this one. I had very good success with it, and I'd put it in the holster any day of the week and carry it if I wanted a gun for protection. It does a good job, and at the price, guys, I got to tell you something. I bought some pretty expensive 1911s. Now, I've never owned any of the super high-end 1911s, but I've owned Colt and Kimber and Ruger and, Smith & Wesson. I've owned a few of the, pretty good guns. This TSOS is nothing to frown at all. Now, if you guys don't mind, it'll help us if you subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and comment on this TSOS if you don't mind and what you think about it so far. And also, I'm going to leave you guys with this question. I haven't decided what we're going to do to this as far as the build. We are going to build this gun. We bought it for that purpose, and we're looking at two things now. We're looking at just a nice carry gun, something that looks really good, or a work gun, which will still look good, but it'll be more, the grips will be different. If you carry a gun, I like really fancy grips, and if it's a work gun, I normally have a tendency to go to G10 grips. But anyway, tell us what you think we ought to do or what you'd like to see us do with this gun, and we'll do it. Now, we will go through this gun from A to Z, even though it functions super good. We'll go through it and change all the springs out to high-end springs and things like that, and adjust everything out. And we'll make a really, really nice gun to shoot. I started to say dependable, but you know what? This thing's as dependable as any of I've ever picked up. Fact is, I've had Colts that wouldn't even compete with this thing as far as dependability. I've had Kimbers that wouldn't compete with this as far as dependability. Now, am I bashing Colt and Kimber? No, I'm just stating the facts here. Of course, now, you're talking about probably a tighter gun, especially with the Kimber. But now, guys, this gun's nothing to scoff at. Everything about this thing is really tight and nice. It's not a $4,000 or $5,000 gun, but it's really a tight gun. Okay, guys, I'm gonna quit yammering. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video down. We here at the Porch love you, and we want the best for you. We hope this information will bless you and help you. May God bless, and have a good day.